welcome to Sensodyne Repair and Protect presents Body and Mind Season 8 powered by Vaseline. Now we've all heard the phrase a mountain to climb, but how many of us have actually done it? It is a testament to the human spirit, endurance and mental strength. On today's Centrum You Did It moment, my guest is a living and breathing example of all this and more. Naila Kiani has successfully climbed over 10 mountains ranging 8,000 meters high across the world. Let's get to know her a little bit better. Hi Naila, very excited to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Naila, I'm very excited to meet you in person today. You're an inspiration not just to women from your background, the South Asian community, but to women worldwide. Now, the first and most obvious question that I have to ask you is, why climb? What inspired you to climb?
So when I was growing up, I never thought I'll be a climber one day. I got inspiration of climbing when I did my first trek to K2 Base Camp trek because I saw these gigantic peaks and I met climbers there, and I was just really curious to find out what their bodies and mind go through when they climb these peaks.
Okay. Now, Naila, as a mom myself, we are similar in age. We are in our mid-30s. You've got two kids, 4.5 and 3. I've got a 6-year-old myself. And I would be lucky enough if I made it to Coachella next year, you know? But at what point, after having your second child, did you decide to take on this mammoth task of being a professional mountain climber and climbing mountains that are over 8,000 meters?
So I had my second child and then I climbed my very first peak, which was above 8,000 meters. And I think it was a shift in my mindset and I didn't care about what people think of climbing. I didn't care about what people say about age or what people say about us women doing adventurous things after having kids. So I just told myself that this is something I wanted to do and I just went ahead with it.
Okay. And what was the kind of preparation that you had to make? Because I believe you did your first climb in 2021. It was a very difficult time for all of us around the world. It was during the pandemic. What inspired you to take this up, especially during that phase? And second of all, what is the kind of preparation that you had to do?
Yeah. So my first expedition plan got cancelled because of COVID, but I didn't give up on my plan. So I planned the second peak soon after my delivery of second child. So I started training 4 weeks after delivery, but I went to...
One sec, stop right there. 4 weeks after you gave birth to your second child, you started training. 4 weeks later, I wasn't even ready to go out and see my friends. How did you decide to start training for mountain climbing 4 weeks?
So I knew that I had a plan. I planned basically expedition during my maternity leave because I knew I wouldn't get time of work. So I slowly started. I mean, I didn't start extreme training 4 weeks after delivery. I slowly started training, but I was also seeing my physiotherapist. I had different types of scans just to make sure I wasn't basically doing anything bad to my body. So I did hiking during that time. I did strength and endurance training during that time.
How long does it take to finish climbing an 8,000 plus meter mountain?
So it depends. I took longer on some mountains than the other, but roughly 1 month to acclimatize and to acclimatize and complete the whole process.
I want to know a little bit more about your diet before climbing and during, because I understand that you don't get your 4 meals a day while you're climbing. Yeah. So what is the kind of diet you need to follow pre and during and even post climbing?
So I usually take protein-based diet before, but when I come back, for example, we lose a lot of weight, so we just eat as much as we can. When we're climbing, unfortunately, we have to take the lightest meals, and sometimes it can be just dry fruits to give us energy, dates, and sadly noodles. They're not the best, but because they're so light.
So are you saying dry fruits and noodles is your daily diet while you're climbing?
When we climb higher from the base camp up, because we have to carry our food with us.
So you have to carry your 1 month's supply of food with you while you're climbing?
So base camp is actually not that hard because we have mules and porters who take a lot of food with us. But when we're climbing, I go with one guide who helps with some of the stuff. But because it's just two of us, for example, so I have to carry my, let's say, dry fruit or something that we can munch on during that climb. And then we rest and we cook something on a small stove, but yeah, it's a lot of weight to carry.
Well, let's just hope you're someone who enjoys dry fruits. And what about multivitamins? Because that is also essential, I'd imagine.
Very important. So I didn't know the significance of them before I started mountaineering, but because it's so stressful, my immune system was getting impacted. So I use multivitamins also to help with my immunity.
That is so true. Multivitamins are essential because we cannot solely depend on our diet to get all the nutrients that our body requires for bridging the nutritional gap and bolstering our overall health. And that small step of your daily commitment towards taking your multivitamins can make a huge impact to not just your physical, but also your mental health. Now, I want to know a little bit more about, we covered diet, we covered exercise. I'm sure it's very scary to take on something so mammoth as this, to be away from your family, your kids. What is the kind of mental preparation that you had to make to take on something like this?
So I think I'm a very strong person mentally. So I had a very tough childhood that helped me be very strong mentally, and that's what really helped on the mountains, because climbing a mountain cannot be done if you're not mentally fit. But also when I was climbing, I think that helped me to be more mentally resilient.
You're actually a banker by profession. You're on a little bit of a career hiatus. You're a mom of two, and your husband is supporting your family. How significant is it to get that emotional support from your family, your spouse, your better half, your extended family to embark on a journey of this scale?
I think that's one of the most important things, because if I didn't have the family support, husband support, and also the immediate family, I don't think I could have done this, especially because my girls are very small. If my kids were older, if I didn't have this much support, it would have been okay. But just because when I climbed my first peak, my daughter was 6.5 months, and I could have not done that if my husband didn't support me and if the immediate family weren't here to help.
Family support is everything, and you cannot put a price on that. You have climbed over 10 mountains in a span of 2 to 3 years. What would you say are some of the riskiest and some of the most challenging moments that you've had? Have you at any point been in the middle of a climb and wanted to quit?
So my last expedition, I would say, was the most difficult one. We lost 4 climbers, 2 from my own team. So basically an avalanche hit them, and three climbers went down, and then we found out two of our team members died in that avalanche. So I straight away, usually we were basically just 400 meters below the summit, and that time a lot of climbers have summit fever. And some climbers were still planning to go up, but you mentioned daughters, and I think I used them as my strength. I knew that time that it's just not safe to go up, although I'm 400 meters below. I straight away decided to go down, and then 3 people who were still climbing, they got hit by another avalanche, and 2 of them also died on that mountain. So that was definitely my hardest climb so far.
What's the kind of mental toll it takes on you? Because you're obviously very passionate about climbing, but when you know that some of your fellow climbers have lost their lives trying to pursue this dream of theirs, what's the kind of impact it makes on you?
To be honest, this time I questioned because I've seen it before too on other mountains because this is one of the things that can happen to you when you're climbing. But this was the first time I actually questioned whether I should be climbing or not. But again, just to give you a little bit of context, this happened to them because they were competing to be the first American woman on the mountain, and mountain was not safe and they should have turned around, but they didn't. So I mean, sometimes we also inflict this on us. It is a risky sport, but when we have some motives which are not really in sync with the nature, these type of things happen. So I questioned it for a few weeks after I came back, but now I want to climb again. Obviously, I want to complete the 14 Peaks project, but I'll take it slow. I will not. I stopped telling myself to compete with another person. I just want to enjoy climbing.
Naila, I mean, at our age, when we've got a family responsibility, career aspirations, it becomes very difficult to disconnect because your mind is constantly, on overdrive. How do you manage to disconnect when you go on these trips?
So being in nature really helps me to disconnect. So before going on expedition, hiking in the mountains here in UAE, and obviously when I'm on the expedition, I'm already in nature. So I manage to disconnect.
Is that your calming space, the nature?
It is, yes.
Naila, so what is your next big project?
So I'm on a project to complete 14 peaks above 8,000 meter. I've done 10 already. I have 4 left, and I'm planning to complete the rest next year, inshallah.
You've achieved so much in such a short span of time. So if I was to ask you, what is your Centrum you did it moment, what would that be?
I'd say it's my very first 8,000 meter peak because, like you said, I had 2 girls, I had a full-time career, obviously married woman, and nobody expected me to do, even I didn't expect myself to climb that peak. So when I reached the top, I think that was my I did it moment.
So that was your Centrum you did it moment. Naila, you're an inspiration to so many women across the world, and when your daughters are old enough, they'll be so proud of you and they will certainly look up to you. There couldn't be a better role model. Thank you so much for joining me on the Centrum you did it moment.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Wow, what an incredible story. I have so much more to sit and talk to Naila and perhaps get a tip or two. So I'm going to continue doing that, and you guys take a break. I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to Sensodyne Repair and Protect presents Body and Mind Season 8, powered by Vaseline. Now, did you know that almost 15% of all greenhouse gas emissions are due to livestock farming? At a time when sustainable green initiatives are so much in focus, plant-based concepts have become increasingly relevant. And today I'm going to dine at one such place. Although I don't consider myself a vegan, when vegan food looks like this, why wouldn't I even consider making the switch every once in a while? And joining me is the Chief of Culinary here at Planet Terra, Chef Russ. I'm so excited to see you again.
I'm really excited to see you again. It's really nice to see you, yes.
Likewise. Chef, you're Mexican originally,
yes,
and
correct.
Mexican food is known for its beef tacos and enchiladas and cheese and tortilla. So coming from, a culture which is very gluten-rich, so to speak, what was it like for you personally to make the switch and become vegan?
It was mostly for the animals, but also, once you start reading about it, there's also really great things that come with the diet. Benefit that come with the diet. So yeah, there's just complex reasons that I used to change my diet.
Okay, so I want to know a little bit more about the concept behind Planet Terra. I understand this is a vegan restaurant
Correct.
with minimally processed to no processed food.
Yes, correct. So it's not only a vegan restaurant, we are the only 100% organic restaurant in Dubai.
100%.
And I believe this makes us very unique,
Okay.
because not everyone takes care of the origin of the primary product. So here we have ingredients from all over the world. However, we also focus on ingredients grown locally because it's very important for us to be sustainable.
Can you tell me what I'm munching away while you're speaking? What is this?
So this is our take in a ceviche. This is a Latin American dish. Now you're enjoying it with avocado, tomatoes, cucumber, a little bit of onion. The sauce is mango and coconut, and there is also basil oil around it. Initially or originally, this dish is made with fish.
Yeah.
However, we wanted to make something fun and creative, and this is what we came up with.
And this base is mango?
Mango and coconut, yes.
Really good, I must say.
Thank you.
I've never had this sort of a combination before, and it's all very fresh. The crunch from the vegetables,
Yes.
the citrusy flavor from the mango, and the little kick from the onions in there. And it's so stunning to look at as well. I
Thank
feel
you.
almost bad eating it. All right, moving on to, of
Yes.
course, tacos. Would you say your family would be upset with you for deconstructing tacos like this?
Once they try them, I don't think so.
Okay. Tell me about these, please.
So, although we have dishes from all over the world,
Yeah.
the tacos and the ceviche, this is a little bit of my touch into the menu.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones you're enjoying right now is our Baja tacos, which are made of king oyster mushroom. There is a smoky chipotle sauce on top, and as well as pickled onion and cabbage. What do you think?
I think it's delicious. I love the little crunch from the mushroom. It's the only, I guess, decadent part about the dish because the mushroom is deep fried, but the rest of it is all pickled and healthy, and
Yes.
it's really nice. I think it's a good alternative for a fish taco, like a
Yes.
crispy fish taco,
Yes,
right?
that's where the idea comes from. However, yeah, like you said, it's a deep fry item, but there's only one thing in the dish that is decadent. Because if you look at it, we have a lot of fermented food on it, which is really good for you as a human being. So we don't focus only on the bad or the decadent things in
Yeah.
the dishes. We try to make it very balanced.
Speaking of decadent, I don't know if you did this because you know I'm Indian. I see a makhani on the table over here, which I have been dying to try. So I'm going to
Absolutely.
dive right in. Tell me
Yes.
about this one, chef.
I think you're gonna love it.
Okay.
I'm also a very big fan of Indian food
Mm-hmm.
because Indian food and Mexican food have, very rich and decadent flavors, like you said at the very beginning. And so makhani reminds me of a dish we have in Mexico. And
What is that?
it's called mole. It's also a very dense sauce, but instead of garam masala or the spices from the makhani, there is chocolate on it. So it's a very original dish.
Okay.
Yes, and we enjoy it as well only during festive seasons. So the makhani here is one of our guest favorites, especially for winter, because it keeps you warm.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think?
Makhani is a very, it's like a warm hug from your mother or your grandmother. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, I'm Indian, I'm biased. It makes me, it reminds me of home, and it brings tears of joy in my eyes.
Yeah.
So that's obviously not cottage cheese that I've,
No.
yeah, so what is that?
This is tofu.
Tofu.
Yes, and our tofu is made of non-GMO soybeans.
And what did you substitute the butter and the cream with, which are, I guess, the main ingredients of a makhani?
Yeah, so this is something that makes us very proud as a brand because we make our own butter here in-house with cashews and oils. So this is something we take pride on because not everyone goes this far into making their own primal ingredients.
Okay. Chef, the salad is definitely adding color to the table, but this kind of reminds me of a chicken souvlaki. What is this?
Yes, this is a souvlaki.
Okay.
That is our take in the souvlaki. And again, we go back to the fermented food items. What you're going to enjoy is a tempeh, which is yet again another fermented food item in our menu. And well, as you see, it's very attractive.
Did you say? You know, it kind of tastes like some sort of cheese.
Yeah.
It's got a salty flavor to it.
Yes, because it's a fermented item, and I'm not going to disclose the whole recipe, but yeah, we make sure that the seasoning is on point with like
What is the
smoky
base
flavors.
ingredient in a tempeh?
On the tempeh is usually soybeans and peanuts.
Okay.
Yes.
It's very nice. Very nice.
I really enjoy this dish as well with hummus.
This kind of reminds me of like a vegan paneer. You know, because it's got
Yes.
that cheesy flavor to it.
Yes.
Chef, you've also been kind enough to prepare some dessert for me, and this is a tiramisu. I wonder why. So tell me the inspiration behind this.
All right, the inspiration behind this. I think tiramisu is one of the most liked dishes or desserts around the world, and we wanted to make our own. And we make everything in-house, so we decided to make our own biscuit. And we made a hazelnut praline, which is the cream you see in between the layers. And well, other than that, there's very good coffee in it, and I believe this is why it's a good seller as well.
Honestly, I wouldn't have known any different if this is a regular tiramisu or a vegan tiramisu. Thank you for this, first and foremost. And there's so much food to get through to at this table over here while enjoying the beautiful view of the pond behind us. So why don't you guys go and take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Sensodyne Repair and Protect presents Body and Mind Season 8, powered by Vaseline. Did you know that some of the traditional therapeutic Thai massages actually trace back to Indian and Buddhist connection at its inception? Who would have thought? It blew my mind as well. Today I'm at the Sentara Mirage Beach Resort, and I'm here to experience some of their exquisite therapies. This is Brett, the Director of Recreations and Spa at Spa Sandbury. Brett, thank you so much for taking the time out. I know you're a very busy man.
Only a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Listen, I want to know all about the property, but first, let's start with the spa. Tell us a little bit about Spa Sandbury.
No problem. So Spa Sandbury encapsulates the Thai essence of Thailand. We are fully fledged, obviously Thai, with all our therapists who are trained and certified in Thailand.
Okay. Some of the most popular massages or I guess therapies in the world are definitely Thai and Balinese. What is it about Thai massages that really resonates with people, would you say?
I think because Thai essence and the services are so globally well recognized in the holistic wellness industry, which is fourth place ranked in Asia and 17th globally. I think they have a pure understanding of wellness, which encapsulates a lot of oriental treatments and ingredients.
Besides Spa Sandbury, you also have a kids spa, which I've never heard of before, called Candy Spa. I have a 6-year-old at home who will come all this way just because of the name of the spa. Who wouldn't want to be in a candy spa?
I know, right? Yeah, we take such pride in this concept because we want our little kiddies also to be able to experience these services. So we have a fully dedicated candy spa for kids. We have fantastic services like hair braiding. We have edible treatments, we have chocolate massages, anything that you could possibly want.
This sounds even better than the adult spa. Can I go to the kids spa if that's okay? All right, so now to really entice me to go into the adult spa, tell me a little bit about the treatments that I will be undergoing today.
So fantastic. Yeah, we have a lot of signature treatments for our adults, one of them being the toxin massage, tok meaning hammer and sen meaning obviously the Zen lines within the body. So these target and utilize a wooden hammer together with an aromatherapy massage and utilize the Zen lines, like I say, vibrations, which provide a lot of peace and harmony. So our second treatment is a salt pot muscle relaxer. This incorporates centuries-old technique which encompasses herbs and salts. It starts with a deep muscular massage which accentuates and focuses on the neck and the shoulders. After that, they utilize steamed pots which relieve the muscles of any tension.
Okay, and I want to know a little bit more about this property because I mean it's tucked away in the beautiful Dubai Islands. How old is this property and what is the concept behind it?
So yes, of course, on the map now, Dubai Islands, which is we have been now almost 3 years. The concept obviously including a whole array of different portfolios of hotels. Our hotel, Sentara Mirage, fully fledged family resort. Including a whole lot of other facilities which are coming up. We have golf courses, Blue Flag Beach. We've just received our Blue Flag certification for our beach. So the alignment and we continue to go fully fledged family.
Okay, I mean, the property looks stunning. Just as I was walking into the spa, looking at the water play area, it looks like so much fun, not just for the kids, but for the adults as well.
Absolutely. It's, as you mentioned, it's a complete heaven for kids. We have 7 pools, we have a water park, we have obviously candy spa and spa, we have 3 kids clubs, we have an E-zone, an arcade zone. It's endless fun for the family.
You've designed this place keeping family and kids in mind, which I think is incredible. Right, there's a lot to explore in this property, but I'm going to start with Spa Stanbury. A healing reward after a hectic and grinding week. I couldn't have asked for a better way to end this week. The week may have ended, but the show is coming straight back next week, so make sure you tune in, same time next week.